Okay, hi everyone. Hi. We have a
Hi,
lot of people.
hello.
We have a lot of people here. I think I saw 90.
Hello.
So we're gonna talk about Thanksgiving today. Um, for me, my name's Mike, by the way. You can see my name there. My name's Michael Hessel. I've been working at Skyeng for 4 years now. And yeah, today's a really, really big celebration for us. Can anybody want to try and say what they know about Thanksgiving for everyone?
I know.
Okay, you're first to talk.
Well, it
So it's
Not much.
Thanksgiving Day. Yeah.
okay. Well, let's try it. This is a speaking club, and we want to get everyone talking. I'll tell you as much as I know about Thanksgiving. Um, what we might do is once we get a topic of conversation, maybe I kind of break us up into different groups so we all have a better chance of speaking. But yeah, somebody go ahead, explain to us what Thanksgiving is, and I'll obviously add some other information.
Can I try?
Yeah, of course, go
Okay.
ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So the story began with in English people, yeah, who traveled the ocean blue to new land, to explore new land,
Hmm.
to in search for independence, for a better life, because they struggled in their country from invaders, I think, and they traveled. As far as I remember, the ship was named Mayflower, yeah, the first ship with pilgrims. So they settled in the land in the west, I think, yeah, west coast of America.
East Coast, East Coast.
East Coast, sorry, yes, East Coast of America. Yeah, they settled there, and native people who were Indians, as far as I remember, they helped them to to settle there. Yes, they helped them. They taught them how to hunt, how to grow crops, how to survive. Yes, so how to survive there. So in order to thank them, so pilgrims decided to organize this Thanksgiving party. Yes, to thank Native Americans. Yeah, to thank them for their help. So, and since then, they celebrate in America, people celebrate Thanksgiving Day. And as far as I understand, so first it started in America, yes, and then it moved to Europe, yes, to England and to other countries as well.
Can
I
I add?
don't. Oh, yeah. Go. I just want to say something real quick. I did find something interesting. England does not celebrate Thanksgiving. The U.S. does. Canada.
Canada, yeah. Germany.
See, Germany has something similar. So does Japan. See, there were two African countries that I was really surprised by. But yeah, Germany does have something similar. But whoever wanted to add something, please
Yeah, but I
go
mean,
ahead.
I think English people have to celebrate it because they got rid of Puritans, who were originally the people who actually left England. Yeah, so
Okay, if we
basically,
want
that
to,
is
yeah,
that is a place to celebrate, definitely. Okay,
okay.
You see,
right.
I just wanted to say that I heard it's not, the origin of this. Like it was religious some years ago in middle century. And in Europe, like it was forbidden after the things with religions. And then they actually took with them, like other, like Halloween, the same. So it's not only actually from America. No, it's also like some ancient roots, I heard.
Can I add something else? Yeah, like
Of course,
a chief nerd here, right? So originally, yeah, because it was not a great story of somebody who actually wanted to just search for great life, and we're not actually traveling in search of something incredible. They were actually traveling to to trade as usual. Yeah, so it was the time when people need to get money somewhere, and because they were not taken well, the Puritans, as you probably know, yeah, so they were not the most, not the friendliest type of people, and in Protestant England, yeah, so nobody actually needed the Puritans. They first went actually not to America. They actually first went to the Netherlands and stayed there for 12 years in search for a ship to go to America. And then they traveled there and settled there, and not actually long after they had to go back. So nobody actually knows why Mayflower is being that celebrated, because it was neither a great ship nor a good expedition. And then later on, actually people, people came. People had come to America before that, yes, and they came there afterwards, yes. So yeah, the story goes like this. Yeah, so this is a basically failed story of entrepreneurial idea of coming to a new land to trade with the natives. Yeah, and unfortunately, the story went wrong because, as you know, a lot of people died, and 1.5 years later, they had to come back and pay for the debts for the whole for their whole lives. So, yay, something to celebrate, definitely. Right,
But I think,
stuff, right. I can share the link to a podcast which actually explains a lot of those in a funny manner. So
yeah, if anyone wants to share any links, I just added a Wikipedia link about Thanksgiving, and it kind of talks about, it talks about Canadian Thanksgiving, what it is for them, talks about the United States Thanksgiving, what it is for us. I'm American, by the way, if you can't tell by my accent.
But can
I? Oh,
yeah,
I think,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, can I? But nowadays I think that this holiday is not connected with their history as all the other holidays, because, like, as I know from like my friends from years, for nowadays it's just a day for family reunion, to have like family feasts, like talk to your relatives, and most of the people, they don't go deep into the history, because this history is not very, how to say, it's not very pleasant. It's really nowadays Thanksgiving Day transformed into giving these thanks not to like historical events, but to people who are around you, with whom you share your like environmental, to meet like maybe not only relatives, but only to meet your neighbors, to share like the food with the people whom you want to say thank you in your ordinary life, in your everyday life, not to go back to this Indian American story.
Can I say something?
Natalia, please.
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, happy Thanksgiving, Michael. Nobody said that.
Thank you.
I just want to congratulate and this is really a very interesting story from different points of view. First of all, as a Protestant, me being Protestant, I know this story from the religious point of view. Very sorry to say that people with their religious views, as Puritans had back then, weren't so popular and aren't so popular now as they weren't there. So because of the high standards of life, well, of course, they had to flee from religious persecution from the United Kingdom, because, people don't really like to be always, accused of being sinful, ungrateful people, to God and everything. But as I remember that first celebration of the harvest, that, was so successful, with the help of native Wampanoag. I don't know how it pronounced.
Somebody does know it. Good.
Yeah, well, I have friends. Yeah, well, yeah, I have Indian chief. So he's a friend of mine. So, and we talked from the Indian point of view. So the Native Americans, they have their story. I would not share right now, not to bother you, with the story. It's not so bad, actually.
You know, but okay, so it was the celebration of, thanksgiving to God
Mhm.
for saving half the people who came across the ocean alive, actually survived the first harsh winter, I think. I mean, and that was a good point. And what they did back then is resembled right now. And, the parades, for example, they had, some army people that paraded back then, several men, stood the line and shoot, some kind of competition they had, and, and, you know, also, being, welcoming other people, welcoming friends, and like celebrating some unity. Like God put people together, people from different continents together. And I think that one girl, Polina, was saying, and I totally agree that this is the thing that we should celebrate, and that would be a good idea to celebrate in different cultures. I mean, to get the family back together and thank God for what's been done during this year and what we've got right now.
Michael, I've got a question. So why celebrating the invasion of some nations of I don't know, conquering the earth? Why?
Natalia just touched base on this, and I think that's important. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of history around this. Specifically this day. What was it? Europeans, settlers came over. They had a tough time surviving the winters. Why? Because they didn't have food. Because
so it's their problem. Why celebrating this?
Well, hold on. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. And so these settlers, they had this really tough adaptation period. The Wampanoags, who were an Eastern tribe, they helped them. They basically helped them survive the whole winter as much as possible. They taught them how to farm because they didn't have food for the winter. They were bad at farming on new land. So they taught them a lot of this stuff. And the first big one that they had, they wanted to celebrate it with them. So that's as far as what I was always taught. I'm from the Midwestern part of the United States. The first Thanksgiving was in Virginia. That's 6 hours east of me. So that's, as far as Americans, how we celebrate it. Yeah, we're not digging deep into the history of it. We know what it is. But it's, one of the other speakers touched base on it. It's all about, getting together with your family. Mom, whoever's been cooking for the last 2 days. I think Russians would I think Thanksgiving would be Russians' favorite, holiday from the US, just because it's that big table. I actually live in Russia, so I know a lot about your culture too. So
are you cooking that turkey here?
Yeah, but my wife is
with everything.
Yeah, my wife is, and the stuffing and the mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes and yams, all the traditional.
So we can call it kind of start of your nation. So this Thanksgiving Day.
No, because it was before, actually, because the first Thanksgiving was, as far as what Wikipedia says, I always use that as my source of information, was 1621. So that's well before the US was established.
I'm trying to get, to understand it more.
The way right now, modern day Thanksgiving is exactly what one of our speakers shared with us earlier. It's all about it's a family holiday, lots of food, turkey, mashed potatoes, all that stuff I mentioned. You get together with your family and you're thankful for your health. You're thankful for your family's health. You're thankful for, a roof over your head, clothes, food, the basics. That's how I always celebrated it. And that's how my family.
Sorry for interrupting you, because I've heard that some people said that it's a religious holiday. Some people say it's not. So giving thanks to God. So this tradition is still kept, and we have to thank God for everything good we have, for the family, for friends, for food.
Not, I think it's, whatever you believe in, whatever you believe in. It's just about, yes, it was intended more of a thank God, but I think it's evolved, because the US, for instance, there's a lot of people that don't believe in God. That's okay, but you can still be thankful for what you have, and those kinds of things. That's like the way I look at it, basic things.
Michael, because you can make a feast almost every day. You can put a turkey every day on the table and thank God for, but it became a celebration, it became a holiday.
Mm-hmm. Because we didn't have anything specifically like that, and it kind of touched our values, I guess you could say. The way I forget which president made it an official holiday. It wasn't officially, George Washington, the first president. He made it a special day, I guess you could say, by the correct terms of it, but it wasn't a national holiday until, I forget exactly when it happened, but one president made it an official holiday. So you're right. We can thank God or thank whatever, whoever you believe in whenever you want, but I think it would take away from the celebration of it once a year, because it's more for, if you look at the way the Indians helped the Pilgrims and the settlers and the Puritans, it was them just saying, hey, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, come celebrate with us.
Yeah, I would like to add something, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
speaking about the tradition of coming together. So I would like to. I didn't go very deeply into the history and what happened. I just want to say something based on my own experience when communicating with foreigners, especially people from US or from Canada. So they pay special attention to Thanksgiving. It's like, it's too important. It's even more important than New Year. So, and I was always wondering why. And they say, my parents are coming to me to celebrate Thanksgiving, or I have to go back to my place because it's Thanksgiving, or my mother will be hurt if I don't do that. So it's all about it, like, and this person was explaining, like, when we gather together, it's not only thanking God, it's thanking, you have to think who you are thankful to and what for. So it can be your friend, it can be your neighbor, it can be God, it can be the person sitting next to you, it can be anyone. So just think who or what you're thankful for during that all year. And I think that it's a very good tradition. First, it brings people together, the family, which is the most important. And second of all, you just become a little bit more kinder, much kinder, at least that day. Second, I would like to talk about the legend. The other person told me about the legend, why we eat that day. Okay, so why we eat so many things, especially the turkey. Why turkey? And there is a legend, or maybe it's a true story. I don't know, you tell me. And this person told me a story that during this period when they had hunger, they didn't have anything to eat. Suddenly, from somewhere, we don't know where from, a lot of turkeys just invaded that place, and they just cooked them, ate them, and they survived. That is why every year you are preparing stuffed turkey, kind of to say thank you to the turkey so that they survive. You tell me what part of it is true, what part of it is a legend. Yeah, so I would like to know also about the turkey story. Why turkey? Yeah, that's it.
I just found something.
Turkeys, I'm sorry. Yeah, pardoning turkeys as well. This is tradition.
Yeah. I think Biden just pardoned two turkeys this year. I forget their names. Yeah, they make a big deal out of it. Just a quick glance here. I got this link that I'd like to add here. It talks about this. Let's see. So a lot of this is new information for me. As one of our speakers already mentioned, we don't dig time, and really big into the history on this one. It's more about, what we've been talking about.
Just enjoy the taste.
Excuse me, can you repeat that?
Just enjoy the taste.
Yeah, here's something that might be interesting. What time do we start Thanksgiving dinner? Like sit down as a family and eat. Does anybody know what time we usually do this?
Evening.
Evening? Okay.
Because everyone is back from work.
No one works on this day.
It's a national holiday, so no one
works. The very morning.
It's early. We usually, traditionally, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it's mostly has to do with the timing the turkey's finished, but it's always really, it's really early because everyone's just lounging around the house. In the US, there's traditionally a couple NFL American football games that are on, Detroit and Green Bay, which is Wisconsin, northern part of the US. They traditionally always play. So yeah, we eat dinner at I think my mom would usually say, all right, dinner's ready, 2:30, 3 o'clock. So kind of interesting bit of information. And we do the same thing for Christmas dinner too.
Sorry to interrupt. We've got 2 raised hands of 2 very patient people. Maybe we could just let them talk.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
Well, there is one for now. It's Rodion, but also I saw Sylvia raising her hand. So any of you guys can just turn on your microphone.
May I?
Yes, go ahead. Okay. Sylvia.
Hi to everybody. And I would like to add that it was Lincoln who first established its national. Yes. And I would like to tell about something very important, I think, after this pandemic stuff and so on. Why do we celebrate? Why do we arrange this, everything? Because it's just the reason for us to enjoy the life, because after a pandemic I realized we can't live without celebrations, without anything. We can go and register the marriage, we can just spend a usual day, not a specific birthday, just a usual day. But this is what makes our lives interesting, enjoyable, and so it's just about enjoying the life. Like there is no other specific reason for celebrating anything, just to make your life more interesting, more enjoyable, and that's it. Because these 2 years were horrible only because we couldn't enjoy concerts, I don't know, parties, just the company of each other sometimes. And only that's the reason, I think.
I agree.
May I ask a small question, Michael? Could you please tell me, I wonder if, for example, Thanksgiving Day is on Sunday, do you postpone it for Monday or something? Like
Thanksgiving is in the United States is always the 4th Thursday of November. It's kind of strange, but it's always here. I'll write it here. In the US, it's always the 4th Thursday of November.
For us, a celebration, if it's for Day of Independence, for example, is it possible like to celebrate after? I mean, if it's on the weekend.
Yeah, it is. And it really comes down to, it's still going to be recognized as a national holiday. What does the company do that you work for is really what it's like a company choice. 4th of July, everyone's always off on that. So if it's on Sunday, no, we usually don't extend the weekends. Similarly, like in Russia, if it falls on the weekend and extend the holiday. But I mean, it really comes down to some companies do. President's Day, for instance, no one, everyone works, even though it's a national holiday.
Thank you.
Rodion, I see that you would like to share something. Please go ahead.
Okay, yes. Thank you so much for giving me a chance to speak. I want to share something unusual, and I think that's connected to the topic of Thanksgiving Day, and very symbolically. I was listening to you and I heard a lot of usual things like thank you for the friends, thank you for the family, but it's very interesting that yesterday, in my country has happened something so very unusual. Excuse me, by the way, for my voice, you will understand why is it so. I tell you the story I want to share, because I want to say thank you, like a very big thank you for realizing not only my dream, but also the dream of the people, all people in my country. I'm from Pridnestrovye. That's the special part of Moldova. For those who doesn't know what's it and where is it, I want to say it's not far from Ukraine and close to the Black Sea. I hope you know the territory. So yesterday there was a football match, Champions League, Sheriff Tiraspol against Real Madrid. So, and yesterday, even though Sheriff lost the game, it was definite that this team will play the playoff stage of Europe League. And that's the perfect debut, like the first in the history, the smallest team in the history with the smallest budget. So from the smallest country, even from the unrecognized country, comes to the playoff stage. So that's the brilliant experience, not only for my small country, but also for the whole world. There is such a big interest from different countries, from different people from Spain, from Italy, from Germany. They come yesterday to my city to visit this football match, to support, somebody supports Real Madrid, somebody supports Sheriff Tiraspol. And this is what you're discussing. This is what combines the people, makes them together, makes them say, okay, we all are people, we are feeling, yes? So we are feeling the same. And that's all about emotions, like people come together, people support each other. That's about Thanksgiving. And I want to say thank you very much for all people who come to the stadium to support and to give this super atmosphere. It happens once in a life, I think so. That's why, what does it mean for me now? And as I understand this Thanksgiving Day now.
Thank you for sharing. That's a cool story. I added a link for anybody that would like to see the name of the team Rodion is talking about. Congratulations, by the way. Would anybody like to share something?
Yeah, we have to. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah, two more hands, but wait, we can go in the order.
Christina, can I call on Christina? Shrabion, yeah, oh geez, I can't.
I think Daniil has a hand, so
yeah,
he's waiting.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello everyone, I want to tell that over the last 30 minutes, I have learned so many things about this day, to be honest, because I decided to come here because I obviously lacked knowledge about this holiday, but while listening to you guys, thank you very much for this information. I had a chance to Google something as well, and the information which I have found is actually obvious and new at the same time about this tradition of Thanksgiving, about the idea of Thanksgiving, that it is very, very old, and many nations all over the globe have this tradition to thank God, to their gods, other deities, for the harvest. And this is very important because I think famine, yeah, when people are starved to death, not because someone doesn't give them food, but because there is no food, is probably the biggest problem which humanity has ever faced. And thanks God, I think that we have something to say thank you as well, that we have food to eat, which is very important. When you're hungry, I think it's very hard to think about some high ideas, which we're discussing now. So this is it. And concerning the fourth Thursday of November, I have also read that, yeah, this before it was fixed in the 18th century, in the 19th century, if my memory serves, those have been different days. Both at the beginning of November and end of October, so somewhere in autumn, as far as I get. The initial idea was somewhere in autumn, not necessarily this final days of November. So thank you very much for listening to me. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I hope I say your name right, Nargiza.
Hello, yes, Nargiza. Sorry.
Okay,
Do you mean me? Yeah,
Yes,
Nargiza.
yes. I see that you have your hand up and you'd like to share something. So please go ahead.
To everybody from Kyrgyzstan, and I would like also to share that for me, Thanksgiving time is a time when I think about people who helped me during the year. And you know, usually at the beginning of a new year, we usually set some plans or we make some resolutions. And usually in autumn, we try to analyze and to see what we have achieved. Yeah. And usually it's time when we start thinking about people, about things, and especially about people who helped us during the year. And I think it's a very good tradition to have this holiday, because here you can just stop and sit and start thinking about people who helped you. And it's not only thinking about being thankful, but also about being positive about life. Yeah. So you understand that you are surrounded by blessings, maybe God's blessings, and actually blessings from your relatives. And yeah, so for me, it's important to thank people. And yeah, I usually do it during Thanksgiving time and also at the end of the year during the New Year holiday. So this is what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Kat, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. I actually just wanted to ask a question. Is that allowed here, or should I only be sharing things?
Nah, go ahead. Ask a question. We'll try to make it short and sweet.
Okay, thank you. So I wanted to hear your take on who do you invite to Thanksgiving in the US? I heard that in some states you can invite friends if they're alone for Thanksgiving. In some states it's just your family. Is it just extended family or your close family? So that's basically it.
Well, traditionally for me, it was always family, close family. Sometimes, you know, I'm 38 years old. Sometimes we would drive probably about, 5 Thanksgivings. We went to one of my mom's aunts, but it's always, for me, it was always close family, but I don't think it doesn't have to be that way, because like we said, it's all about just giving thanks, the people you love, the people that are close to you. But traditionally it is your close family, at least for me traditionally, and everyone that I grew up with, that's how we did it. But I guess it could be anybody, whoever you wanted, but traditionally, like I said, usually close family.
Okay, thanks a lot for your answer.
You're welcome. Irina?
Hi, yeah, I kind of lived in the United States and wanted to notice some interesting fact that after Thanksgiving, there's a Black Friday, like Thanksgiving, we're thankful for everything. And on Friday, we go shopping for different things. Everything is on sale. A lot of things are on sale. And to me, it's very interesting that in Russia, we have this Black Friday, and it's it starts from October on, and it's oh, Black Friday sales. Why is this? Why do you think this happened to our nation? It doesn't make much sense to me. Why do we have this Black Friday sale?
Capitalism.
Yeah, I know.
Market.
But it's like,
can I say something about this Black Friday, because I've faced some information interesting just found on the internet a couple of years ago about Black Friday. Well, it was connected to the Thanksgiving, because charity is one of the important parts of celebrating of Thanksgiving. Like charity balls, etc. And once upon a time, one businessman wanted to kind of bless the sellers and get rid of the stuff they hadn't sold that year. So they just announced huge discounts, and that was just Friday. Nobody called it Black Friday back then. So and then more and more entrepreneurs joined this trend, and they started, Friday, next day after the Thanksgiving, Thursday, they started, the sales, like pre-Christmas sales, things like that. So they started all over the world. But sometime in 60s, I believe, 68, I don't know, one shop, there was one mall, and this Friday, the sales were, had been announced, like huge sales, like 90% sale, those discounts were just amazing. And people got there like early in the morning, like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They got there, and it was a huge crowd. And when the doors were open, people, the crowd rushed into the mall, and lots of people were injured and died, and one tabloid called that Black Friday back then. And then for a few years, it was like everybody remembered the tragedy of that Black Friday. And so called it Black Friday. But then eventually people became, more cautious, and they started to care about, crowds and managing, crowds, in front doors of the malls and everything, learned from that poor experience. And then for Black Friday became a, just a name, a title of the day. Now, well, it started bad, but now it turned out, to be pretty cool stuff.
That's interesting. I have never heard that. Very interesting. I'm gonna call. Your name's written in Russian. The next lady with her name, Daria.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, please.
I have a question. So, do you have special family traditions in the USA, or it's you just held dinner with family?
For Thanksgiving specifically, yeah,
Yes.
Let's go up to mom and dad's around, I don't know, you can go there whenever you want, but 10 to 12, and you go there and the whole family's there and just sitting around, spending time with each other. Where I'm from, football game was on. Maybe the kids were downstairs in a different room watching something different on TV. Then, mom announces dinner's ready. Everyone goes there, eats for, an hour. Then they go off and everyone just kind of zones off. Then people go back up and eat more. And then we have a pumpkin pie and apple pie as dessert a couple hours later. But yeah, it's pretty much eat the dinner and lounge around the house and be lazy.
So the football game is a tradition.
Yeah, I guess it is. My dad is from Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. Detroit is one of the Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, and I think Washington. These 4 teams always play on. I don't know about the other 3. I'm sure of Detroit. They always played on Thanksgiving. So, it's cold out at this time too, where I'm from. So stay inside, have a fire in the fireplace. Just nice, relaxing family day with a special meal.
Michael, I want to ask the last question, and then I have a lesson. Michael, you have holidays, as I noticed. For example, we take Halloween, then it goes Thanksgiving, then again Christmas. So you see a kind of mishmash of negative spirits holidays and then positive, thanks God, holidays. This is what I know. So I don't know if you have the answer for this, but it's a very strange chain.
Never thought about that once in my life. We don't look at Halloween as a bad thing. Halloween's awesome. Kids get to dress
it's awesome,
up.
But it's a celebration of bad spirits.
I don't know. I guess depends on what you focus on. I never thought about it that way. I really didn't. That it's that and that and that. So I don't know. I never thought about it. I don't really have a idea.
Russia has a spring. Wait a second. Spring, right? We have Maslenitsa, we have Easter, we have other holidays also.
But
it's another season.
We don't celebrate spiritual things, It is also connected with the church, and Americans celebrate spiritual things. This is the chain of celebrations that I noticed.
Yeah. But you got to think about the U.S. So multicultural. I have friends that don't like Thanksgiving. They think it's a bad holiday, so they don't celebrate it. So it's kind of the nice thing. You get to do what you want. It is considered a national holiday, but
I really like your holidays, because when I work in different language centers, we work with native speakers, and they created such big feasts, and they made such shows with Halloween and Thanksgiving Day, and I liked it very much. So thank you for this meeting, and I have to go, sorry.
Have a wonderful day. Tatiana?
Thank you for giving me a word. I just have a question. In the past, I used to have a colleague. He was an American teacher, and every year for Thanksgiving, he brought us a pumpkin pie and other dishes made of pumpkin. They were really delicious. He said he cooked himself. And I just have a question. Why pumpkin is so popular in your culture? Halloween, you have pumpkins. Thanksgiving, a lot of dish from pumpkin. Why not raspberry or strawberry pie? Why pumpkin pie? Is there anything behind it?
I have a guess.
Okay, go ahead. Try. Let's hear it.
This is the season, right?
It's the season. But these are all good questions, and a lot of these things are things I haven't thought of, but I can type fast. So here's the answer. Thanksgiving pumpkin pie is now a symbol for sweet national unity. And this is from Abraham Lincoln, declared it a day of Thanksgiving on the 4th day of November. Pumpkin lover. What is the culmination? He was a pumpkin lover. It looks like that has part to do with it. It's the season, and it's delicious. That's why. So Tatiana, the history behind it and how it became pumpkin pie, I do not have a direct answer for you, but pumpkin pie and apple pie, those are the two big pies that resemble Thanksgiving.
Hello to everyone. May I add you a little bit?
Hi, Oksana.
Hi from Ukraine there, and I think that maybe it is simple. Pumpkin is a crop that easily grows without special fertilizers. I don't remember any problems with growing pumpkins. Usually it grows itself, and maybe it is really an easy product to find to cook.
And it's a gold mine of vitamins, they say.
Yeah, and also if you remember the fairy tale about Cinderella, her godmother let her have a cart magically made of a pumpkin, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me well. And also, history is a difficult thing. It is complicated, and sometimes we do not know if the historical materials are true or not. It is also tricky sometimes. So every family tells their own story. Every nation has their own, let's say, their own history and their own interpretation of this history. And of course, it's not that easy to interpret it, but also, every event and Thanksgiving Day also, it can be a very good way to improve, to become more aware of what we are doing, what for. And people mentioned here about gratitude, yeah, about saying thanks, about appreciating every moment of our lives. And you know, there are a lot of things that we are used to taking them for granted, like everything most precious, like we have the air to breathe. Yeah, we take it for granted. We do not think how precious it is. We cannot live without that. Yeah, we have the sun, we have the day, the night. Yeah, we have everything. We have drinking water. We have relatives, by the way. Yes, our kith and kin, they are available here, and it is a miracle also. Yeah, we should maybe it's a reason, a day to stop and think about that. Yeah, there are people who are alone, lonely. Yeah, they have no family. It also happens. Yeah, it's like this. So, and you know, also, it can be a very good reason to be generous, not only about money or giving food or some things, some clothes or whatever material things. It can be about generosity in the way of forgiving. Yeah, so people sometimes can break up, they can stop communicating, quarrel and stop communicating with their relatives. And after, I don't know, after they lost connection for years, sometimes, yeah, miraculously on this day or on Christmas, on some day like this, they say, please forgive me, and they have this reunion. Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Arslan.
Hello, Michael. May I have a question?
Yeah. Sorry, can I go or what?
Yeah, go ahead, Arslan.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, hello from Sweden, everyone. I have been living in Sweden for over 3 years, and I think I found out many interesting things about the Swedish culture. And you might have known that there are a lot of Swedes in America, and the Swedes founded some of the states of America. And I think that these two cultures are combined together, and they created some new traditions and cultures. So I would like to tell a little bit, go back to the story and share a little bit about the fact that Swedes, maybe half of the population of Sweden left for America during maybe 60s or 70s. And they suffered a lot because of the crisis economical, and they were like seeking best life in America. So they went there. And now we know that Sweden is one of the richest countries in the world, and this generation decided to come back one by one, and now they're coming back to restore their culture, to live in their homeland. So, and now they brought something mixed with American culture and Swedish culture. Now we have I can't say that we celebrate the Thanksgiving Day officially, but there are many families, they celebrate this Thanksgiving Day as maybe a feast of reunion, I can say. So you know that in Sweden, in the northern countries, we don't have so much light in the winter. It's getting really dark. It even starts from October, so we don't see the light during the day. For example, if you start working at 9 o'clock, you just go to work at night, it's really dark, and you finish work at 4 o'clock and it's still dark. So, and it's a good opportunity for Swedes to get together. That's why they created this kind of celebration, just to join together, just to get to know a little bit about each other, what's going on in their lives, and just to feel that you are maybe a member of something big, yeah, of a member of community. And we have some kind of celebrations in church too. We go usually on Sundays just to celebrate, maybe not only once every Sunday, we can say so. We have in Sweden called it the tredje andra, like in Swedish it's called second Sunday, third Sunday. So we celebrate it maybe during 3 weeks, I can say. And every time when we go to church, we organize some feast for those who really need food, who don't have money to buy something, or we also share, donate some money or buy clothes for those who are in need. And this church always collect the money and donate to the charity organizations, which are in charge of helping those people who come to Sweden. And since the fact that Sweden accepts a lot of refugees from all around the world, including the Somali, Pakistan, Iraq, and Syria, Afghanistan, those people really need to know a little bit about the Swedish culture. This is the best way how to how to say, draw these people to the Swedish culture and helps them adjust and accommodate and giving the best, and showing the best side of the Swedish culture. And I can say that it was really good choice for me also how to get integrated, because it's a socialization in this country is quite hard, because Northern people there are quite cold, you know that, like Russians are quite closed. They're not eager to be in contact with others, or they're not open. So this is the best way when the Swedish community is something union of mixture of many different cultures. So it helps, I think, in this sense to unify the Swedish people and the Sweden at all. And now we can feel and sense that we are the member of this great country.
That's cool. Thank you for sharing. That's new information for me, I think is everyone as well.
Yeah. That's also good experience for me too. Now I feel that even though I look like Chinese people, I feel that I'm Swede totally, yeah, because this maybe atmosphere in Sweden gives you the chance to be integrated and socialized.
So a nice community feel.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Cool, very cool. Daniel.
Oh, thank you very much. So there is one more thing, about pumpkin. So many things have been mentioned. I'm from Ukraine, and here we have a very old tradition, which I think is no longer observed. It is related to proposal making. When a young man decides to propose, when he pops the question, he and his family come to his bride-to-be, and if she returns his bread is a symbol of some welcoming, something like this. He comes with bread to her. If she returns the bread and gives a pumpkin, it means a complete refusal and a shame for him. Pumpkin is a symbol of refusal. I know about Russia, but here in Ukraine, probably in some villages, this tradition is still observed and exists.
Absolutely, it's true.
Yes, yeah, and we have we just have this proverb to give a pumpkin, which means complete refusal related to this relationship. And about the mishmash of holidays, which has already been mentioned, I've heard an idea that it has something to do with the sun. Obviously, Halloween is related to the period when days go shorter, and that's why this eerie, mysterious atmosphere is inevitable. And Christmas is associated with summer solstice, when days in the Northern Hemisphere become longer and brighter. Future and brighter days are ahead. So probably this has something to do with this. Thank you.
All right, thank you for sharing.
Sorry again, sorry to interrupt. I just have a few minutes left before we can just spend the last few minutes on continuing with the discussion. Can we just take a picture of us just to remember this wonderful day and all people with the camera turned on? It'll take a few seconds. If any of you could just add your cameras and your beautiful faces, that would be really helpful. Smile.
Oh, you need all the faces? No.
It would be cool.
Everyone whose camera is turned off, can you please turn it on so we can have a picture from the speaking club? Yes, Alana?
Yes, thank you. I'm like a professional photographer. Okay, one more.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, is it okay? Can I speak?
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
Go ahead, Dasha. Are you finished, Alana? Okay, all right, go ahead, Dasha.
Oh, okay. Hello. Here I firstly come with this knowledge that we usually have about Thanksgiving Day in our books that we have at the university. So it's like ordinary things. But after this conversation, I caught myself at the idea that Thanksgiving Day and mostly not only this day or not only this event, but others, it's these days they help to build closer relationships in our family, I think. So also probably here when in America people celebrate Halloween. Yes, it's also related to the these close relationships in the family. So when children and parents gather together and have good fun, and also Christmas, Easter. So it's great. And you know, it's cool to have such traditions in order not to forget about our relatives and to build strong relationships. But to be honest, you know, I think that it will be cool if we will translate it not only for the family, but on other people too, in order to be kinder and more sympathetic to each other. So that's all my thoughts.
Well, thank you. No, I think if people spoke like that more in the world, that should be a better place. So no, I think you're right. Thank you for sharing. Lenovo.
May I ask a question?
One second, Islam. Lenovo, I'm gonna come after you just because Lenovo's been waiting for me.
My name on there. Yes, my name is Gulistan. Yes,
okay, it's
and
not
first
Lenovo.
of all,
Okay.
yes. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Yeah, it was such a nice time to learn some new things about Thanksgiving. So, and I was very surprised to know that it started in Virginia from your words, because right now I'm reading an audiobook with my students, Pocahontas. So, and it really shows that story in detail. Like, it's so interesting, but nothing is said about Thanksgiving in there. So if you are going through audiobooks, Pocahontas is a right book for this season for Thanksgiving. So to talk about. And personally about myself, I agree with Dasha, really. These holidays, they really gather us together, they pull us together. So, and personally, every day I thank God for everything. But why I like this holiday, that some people sometimes they need to come to that point that, okay, it's not like for granted, someone said, yes. So somehow it worked somehow out. So yeah, and like not everyone would thank someone for something, but on that day, people kind of start thinking about it. Yes, okay, oh, I can thank that person, I can thank that person, and or God. Yes, yeah, and yeah, I really appreciate people making this kind of holiday.
Well,
okay.
thank you. Thank you for sharing. Islam, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I had two small questions. So the first one is, you already said earlier, I think, that British or English people, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
I don't, from what I've read, you know, and I'm not British, I don't know their official holidays. Somebody sounded like they corrected me, and the British do celebrate it. That's news to me. But
so I want to ask, do the British people in the USA celebrate it? Those who live in the US?
I didn't know enough Brits to answer this from direct experience, Islam. I would say if you've lived there for long enough, it could be easily one of those holidays that you accept into your life and your family's life, even if you never celebrate it before, because it's just all about being thankful, you know, and it's all about, you know, it's a positive thing. So I don't really know if somebody moved there, do they celebrate it in their own house? Because you're always at your family's house. So I can't directly answer that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. And it's actually connected with my second question. So as everyone knows, in the USA, there are a lot of students who move to another city to study. And how do they celebrate if they can't come home, for example, to their family? Maybe do they do it with their fellow students, or maybe with their friends? Or do you have any special things in that situation in the US?
you always try to celebrate it with family. I think if you can't go back home because of the bad weather, your car troubles, the flight was canceled, you spend it with loved ones. You're close to the ones that are closest to you. Ideally, try to get back to the house to be with your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your grandparents. But you're right. It's in the middle of studying at university. So if you're over here on the opposite side of the country, it makes it a little
of course
difficult.
Yeah
So
thanks.
So I think we need to stop here, correct, Alona? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I just want to say thank you for everyone for coming. I learned a lot. That was very, very interesting, especially about Daniil, if you're still here, the complete refusal with the pumpkin. That's funny, man. That's funny. I've never heard that. So yeah, just from me and everyone at Skying, thank you guys for coming. If anyone, I see there's a link in our chat, and there is a option to leave some feedback. And if anyone has any other questions, type them in and I'll try to answer them quickly, but I think we're finished here. So thank you, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Michael.
Michael.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.